Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Sayid Ibrahim Hassan with matric number 211-14-583. In this presentation, I will go through my final sentiment analysis project where I explored how sentiment from news headlines may influence the daily stock returns on the Sharia compliant companies. The company that I choose is Sunway Construction Group Berhad, which is having a number of 5263.kl. It is a well-known construction firm listed on Bursa Malaysia. This project was completed using our programming, and the objective of this project was to analyze whether the emotional tone of real news articles correlates with the performance of the stock. Next, I have gathered 15 real headlines from reliable sources like the Edge Markets and NST. These headlines relate to the project wins and in reports and market outlooks for Sunway Construction Company. The first step that I did was installing and loading the necessary R packages such as Quantum, GG, Plot2, Zoo, Sandwich, and Readers, which are helping me in order to analyze the sentiment analysis. Next, I downloaded historical stock price data for Sunway Construction Group from Yahoo Finance, covering the entire year of 2023. I calculated the daily returns using the adjusted closing price. And you can see the end date, the start date, and stock ticker number. Then I collected 15 real headlines related to the Sunway Construction, and I imported them into R from a CSV file. So using the sentiment package, I scored each line and then grouped the scores by date to calculate daily average sentiment, and we have got daily sentiment analysis starting from 2023 until the 15 the headlines. Next, I merged the sentiment scores with the daily returns for missing values, and I used the last available sentiment score to fill the gap. As you can see, this one is a merged DF, which is showing the adjusted number, the daily return, average sentiment, and sentiment field. Then I created a plot comparing the daily stock returns with the sentiment scores to make them visually comparable. I scaled the sentiment scores by multiplying them by 10. So as you can see this graph, this is the line of the graph comparing the daily stock returns and the sentiment scores for Sunway Construction over the year of 2023. The blue line shows the stock's daily return in percentage, while the red dashed line represents the sentiment score, scaled by 10, so it is easier to compare visually. As you can see, both lines fluctuate, but the movement is not perfectly aligned. There are some periods where high sentiment corresponds to higher returns, such as April and May, but in general the relationship is inconstant. This visual helps us to get an idea of where positive or negative news headlines align with the changes in stock performance, but we need statistical analysis to confirm this argument. In order to test whether the sentiment can predict returns, I performed an ordinary least squares regression, which is OLS, using lagged sentiment as a predictor, and I have got this result, which shows the coefficient for sentiment is positive, suggesting some positive relationship. But as you can see, the b value itself is 0.586, which is not statistically significant. Also, the R squared is very low, meaning this sentiment explains very little of the variation in returns. Then I have checked the regression residuals where it is normally distributed or not. The histogram shows that or suggests that the residuals are roughly normal. And then in order to check also the normality, I used Q-Q plot, which further checks whether the residuals follow a normal distribution. The closer the points are to the red diagonal, the more normal the residuals are. As you can see, some of them are most likely near to the red line, especially in the middle, which supports the idea that the residuals are not heavily skewed. Overall, residuals behave well, even though the regression itself did not yield significant results in the regression form. In conclusion, the sentiment score shows a positive but a statistically insignificant relationship with stock returns. The regression did not produce a strong predictive result, which may be due to or the reason of a small number of headlines, which are only at this time 15 headlines. Thank you so much.